is on day release. Demon sub tries not to crease. And Beanwise keeping nice and warm in bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening another can. Technical difficulties, they're really such a crime. Technical difficulties, they happen all the time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. Sometimes they're salty about the gaming biz, and nobody knows who Upworlder is. Technical difficulties, they're really such a crime. Technical difficulties, they happen all the time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time. It's Yellowbelly Tabletop time.
Good evening, everybody. I thought I'd start as we mean to go on, and David and I can period you through.
We're going to, what's it called, grit the roads this evening because the forecast is below zero.
Yeah, there may be salt ahead. Fucking. So yeah, I thought I'd see how we go. So yeah, I'll have to put a clickbaity Games Workshop fucking title on every video. Chats are buzzing over there.
Everybody's here to kick 7 bells of shit out of Papa GW.
Yeah,
so
don't blame
let's
them.
do this.
So yeah, good evening everybody. Let's turn these salt shakers off. This is going to get on everybody's tits. Right, there we go. They're gone. For at least temporarily, they may be returning later. So yeah, I tell you what. Let's open the show with shouting out some of the chat because they're rampant in there. So we got first in the chat. We got Cheese Me. Good evening to you, sir. Good evening, Upworlder. Good evening, Toros. Good evening, Pandy. That's Paul from Pandyman Entertainment, the purveyors of the amazing Trench Offensive. Where? Did I turn both salt shakers off? Yeah, that's weird. YouTube's just catching up. I was looking at my YouTube preview window, and it's like, the salt shakers are still on. Hang on. Shit, maybe I didn't turn them off. Technical difficulty panic. But no, we're all right. Hello to Crispin. Hello to Matthew. I haven't got everybody yet. My God, this is actually quite stressful. Hello to Darren, our demon sub. Pandy's gone. Oh no. Hello to Damon. Blimey. And Spam, who is David's other half. I think I've given everybody a shout out. Good evening to one and to
I tell
all.
you one person you haven't given a shout out. And they were second in chat at the top, mate.
That's you,
It's
you
rude.
fuck. Right, that's it. I'm killing his video feed. We're just gonna watch a GIF for the whole show.
Fucking mean, boys and girls.
So yeah, good evening everybody. We hope you had a good week since you were here last. We're gonna cover our favourite topic this week, Games Workshop.
What?
But before that, before we get into that, we're going to follow our usual format tonight. So we will show you what we're going to be working on or hobbying on. Although to be fair, I'm not really feeling it. I've got models here and I may paint them, but I'm not super feeling it, so I may not. But if you've got any hobby that you're doing while you're watching our stream, put it in the chat if you're here now, or in the comments if you're a catch up later sort of dude or dudette. Because it's always great to. One of the things I like to think is that people put us on as an accompaniment for them to be productive, which I think is cool. So we'll do that. We'll tell you about our game on Monday, which was actually really cool. And a bit disappointing all in one go.
Good, but it was we'll talk about that. We might have a little 20-minute session on that actually, because there's a lot of
to
unpack from that.
Then we've got a fair bit. I've got a fair bit of stuff to talk about news wise as well. So we've got that,
and that's not even mentioning the other bit of the news which feeds into tonight's topic.
And then our main topic is talking about the fucking Gamac GW bollocks, which if you're not familiar with, where the fuck have you been hiding? Because it's all over the internet and it's all over YouTube and it's all that's in my fucking feed. But we're going to be talking a bit about that. That's our main topic. Probably a little bit salty, probably a little bit negative, but every other fucker's talking about it annoyingly. So
GW Legal Department, if you're watching this stream, we may also have some tips for you. I know you're probably not, because we're going to kick the shit out of you, but it's just a cautionary warning to stick around to the end if you are watching.
I'll be honest, we'll get into it, Toros. I think it's the thing that I keep coming back to is I don't think GW need to do any of this. £201 million profit on a 458 million turnover is a pretty healthy business. And you've got some fucking dude making a few €1,000 in some sweatshop studio in Italy. Are you really? Is it worth your time? What the fuck are you doing? Given the fact that the community, and also all these, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll talk about this after 9 o'clock. I can't face it now. Fucking hell.
Darren will be watching the rant tomorrow as Too Much Salt Before Bed is bad for you.
Go watch his blood pressure. Right, okay. Let me go first, as my hobby may be a false alarm.
Why has that died? My feed has died.
Don't know. I'm going to have some green tea to keep.
You're having green tea?
I am. Yeah, I am having green tea. So tonight, Matthew, I will mostly be thinking about painting bolt action.
Notice, boys and girls, he said thinking.
Yeah.
He didn't say painting, he said thinking.
If I pick up my paintbrush, it will be German camo beige webbing needs doing, and gaiters. So that's what we're on to with these guys. I've got the flesh tone down. I've got the base green down. It needs a little bit of a touch and tidy, but next stop is webbing. So I've talked about this before. We all know this is my US Marine Corps project for my island hopping campaign endeavour. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Right, mate, what about yourself?
Come on down, because you'll never guess what I'm working on tonight.
Oh, hang on. I haven't. Now, we did have... Do you know what? It's been a night of technical difficulties, because we did have a bit of an abortion happen with our... we use Video Ninja as our interaction point with OBS.
Oh, have you still got the old video queued up?
Well, yes, your camera link is now not working because... I like that, Toros. German camo beige isn't painting, it's a luxurious pleasure. Don't cheese me. Cheese me, stop baiting me. It's too early. Did I say Tim? Tim? Did I say is Tim in chat?
Where?
I didn't see Tim. That's some dude on YouTube, generally. Did somebody say is Tim there? Right, go on then, David. Tell everybody what you're doing.
Take a while. Guess what I'm doing? When it focuses, if it focuses. Focus, you whore! There we go.
Oh, we need Tim. We always need Tim. Viridian Shallows. Hey, chaps. A good. Nice to see you. Who here discovered the
We
incredible?
are.
Do you know what, sir? Go on, mate. Go on. Tell them about what you're painting. Then we'll respond to
Still on
Viridian.
Fallout, boys and girls.
Still on Fallout.
We're still processing. I was having a think today, actually, and I suppose this doesn't actually relate to what I'm currently doing, which is painting. But this month's painting competition is When Darkness Comes, or something along those lines. Now, what?
Yeah.
What are we gonna paint for that?
Fucking hell. Do you know what? I don't know. Let me check that it is. I'm sure it is When Darkness something or other. Let me check. Painting comp. Darkness Descends. Oh! I know what I might do.
What are you doing?
I might see Darkness Descends is an awesome metal album by a band called Dark Angel, and I might see if I can, because I might see. Believe it was like a satanic black circle on blue background with like a pentagram in it. So I might do something to do with that, because I will get the Dark Angel reference. But other than that absolutely metal nerd thing to do, I don't know what else to say. So to respond to what Viridian Shallow says, no mate, I haven't really looked at conflict. And
Conflict 47.
Yeah, my main reason for not doing that is that mechanically I like to add games to my stable that offer me something a bit unique. And obviously, as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, but basically it's just bolt action with mods. Am I right? Or is it or flames with mods? It's similar to a game I already play. So, and again, the weird World War thing is sort of not my bag. Cool though it is, and I do like Cthulhu horror and zombies and shit. But actually, that in like the World War blend is probably not, is going to keep it off my table. Toro says, what is the half-life of David finishing his longer than the half-life of Cesium 127, mate?
Look, I think I'm doing pretty well.
He is. We're just teasing, aren't we? Oh my God, they're piling on me for the no new games thing. Jesus Christ! Stop, everybody! Fucking hell! Have you put them up
At least
to
I'm a
this?
man of my word. At least I'm a man of my word, and I haven't got anything new at the moment.
My fucking word, my ass. Yeah, somebody clarify for me. It's bolt action. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's a fantastic game, mate. But like I say, with me already being massively into bolt action and enjoying the shit out of it at the moment, it has to be said. I don't know if I mentioned, but my mate Ricky and I are playing through the Stalingrad campaign, and it's probably some of the best wargaming I've ever had. Fucking enjoying it so hard. It's brilliant. But yeah, as I say, just not different enough for me, unfortunately. Oh, Cheese Me, stop! You see, Cheese Me's just pointed out that actually that means you can just add 2 weird units to a bolt action
Yeah,
force.
this is what I've said to you. You literally have
Stop!
to have like a weird tank and like your some
Look, you
werewolves or something.
you get it, and then I will buy some Cthulhu-y weird crap to go in my. I mean, here's my question. What weird stuff do the Japs have? Are they in conflict, or is it really only the European forces? Because I don't think I've seen anybody do Japanese in conflict. Now, don't come and tell me that they've got some super fucking cool Oni demon shit, because that will ruin my day. Look at Taros says January the 1st, Paul will announce he's bought a second-hand shed, and would you believe it? It was full of new games that were released last year. Fuck off. No, you're winding me up, Taros. You are winding me up. They don't have samurai. You are such a Scorpion mechs. Oh. Right, okay, let's stop talking about Conflict 47. You lot are fucking terrible. Oh no. Because the other thing is, nobody else is going to do that. I will be the only man mad enough. Oh, fuck me. Right, okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will promise everybody I will look at the models, and if they look even vaguely tempting, I'll give it to the missus for the Christmas list. And if she doesn't buy me it, I'll probably look again in the new year.
Or it'll end in divorce. It's either or.
Because the clever
all the
thing.
Japanese stuff's going off the website on December 31st, Paul.
You lot are such fuckers. Oh dear.
Oh, would you look at that? I've just gone to the conflict war. Yes, you get assault frame infantry that are like samurai, sir.
Oh, fucking hell.
Scorpion mechs.
For fuck's sake.
Japanese locust medium battle walker.
Does
Chiha with a compression turret.
But does it look really
squadron.
cool?
Yes. Oh my god, there's the Japanese Shibito squad, which is a squad of zombies.
Right, okay. Okay, fucking hell. That is... Right, okay. I will look at it. Thank you, everybody.
And Trevor makes a valid point. You've already lost out on your resolution, so you might as well just go balls to the wall.
Just calm down. I haven't. Shall we stop?
You bought Rune Wars, and then you were left unchecked at Partisan at the weekend, weren't you, my
look,
friend?
I will tell everybody.
You were left unchecked. You were left unchecked at.
Shut up.
Partisan, and you have new things.
There's nothing important. It's fine. Right. Let's tell everybody. Let's move swiftly on and tell everybody about Monday night. Thanks, Viridian. Cheers. I'll have to have a look at it. Because, like you say, I'm the only fucker as well in our group who does Japs. So...
Question, what can I get for Brits?
I don't know.
Oh my god. I can get some droids. Yeah.
Right, come on.
Look, I'm down a rabbit hole. It's not my fault.
Okay, so Monday we were sticking to our plan of getting new games to the table, weren't we, mate?
Yes, we were, sir. We
Hello,
played
Ewok. Good
some
evening. Yeah, sorry.
wonderful Fallout Wasteland Warfare First Edition. So, yeah, about Fallout Wasteland Warfare First Edition. This was 550 points aside, Survivors versus Raiders. The Survivors bought Mama Murphy, Preston Garvey, Lone Wanderer, Dogmeat, and a single settler with some weapons and upgrades. The Raiders bought everything that was in the starter box. So that is 3 Raiders, 2 Psychos, a Skaver, and a Veteran Raider in power armor. Really cool game, really cool scenario for our introduction. So in this picture that's on screen right now, the green little shack at the top is the generator station.
Sorry, I changed photo just as you started doing that. So carry on talking, it'll pop back.
I had to connect 3 pylons to that generator station. One was in the bottom left, one was in the center middle at the top, and one was in the bottom right-hand corner. I have to make a chain. That is what the little orange dice on the table are, because I was playing as the Raider faction. Paul was playing as the Survivor faction. Paul had to turn the radio on and keep me from scoring and auto-winning if I got all 3 connected.
Yeah.
And it was, what, 6-turn game? We got to turn 5 and called it, didn't
yeah,
we?
because the game played out quite one-sided. But David, that was your first sort of experience building warbands, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so David did get completely fucking mullered. I played the Survivors, is it?
Yes.
And I had a lot of ranged attack toys that were fairly effective at neutralizing David's weaker models. So
and I think the other issue is there wasn't necessarily as much scatter as we should have had. But again, first game we didn't really
I agree.
know.
I think as well. I mean, this was very much your baby, wasn't it?
Yes, I love Fallout, as indicated over here, as indicated over here, and as indicated on another wall when I get a poster from my mum and dad's house this weekend that I still haven't bought over.
I have played the Fallout games, and they're well. I played Fallout Vegas, New Vegas, is it?
Yeah, you played New Vegas,
and it's fine. But I'm not massively invested in the IP. I will say this though: I enjoyed our demo game that we did at UKGE. I absolutely fucking loved the scenario. The way the start scenario was designed in this game, and the way it seems to be designed in little mini campaigns, sort of like Frost Gravy. I really, really liked that. I love the coloured dice mechanic. I fucking I despise the coloured range ruler shit. Just put measurements in inches and stop being a twat. I'm sorry.
The D20 is swingy. Well, again, we only have to look at Preston Garvey.
Yeah.
So Preston Garvey took a laser musket. Laser muskets are usually, what was it, green, blue? Or
yeah.
something along those lines.
Yeah, green, blue.
No,
mate.
it's blue, red. Blue,
red.
Blue,
yes.
red. So blue is 10 inches, red is 6 inches. So in theory, he's got 16-inch range. For free, Preston gets the long-range upgrade. Upgrade all of your ranges by 1 colour. So blue becomes black and red becomes green.
No, Toros.
Inches, but...
And to be fair, we didn't have the stupid range rulers at the start set, so we did measure everything and we were using inches. But the problem, as David was just highlighting, all of the cards are laid out in this stupid coloured iconography. So it like says upgrade the colour of X, downgrade the colour of
Or
Y.
again, you have a grenade. Both grenades. Both of our teams were equipped with the same grenades. I could throw them further than Paul because I was using a green stat. Paul was I was using a green stat, so I was throwing them shorter than Paul's blue stat.
Yeah, the whole way that the coloured measurement thing has infiltrated the game needs to be ripped out like a spine because it's just bollocks.
Shot a second.
I mean, it's completely unnecessary. It's just a massive. It's just an obstacle to playing the fucking game, and it doesn't add anything.
So we
do you want that on desk cam?
I can put it on desk cam. So
yeah, put it on desk cam. I'll swap us over. I mean, I am absolutely pumped. Having played this game, I am pumped for second edition. And I will. I'll be honest. I could almost play. I said to David, "Do you know what?
Are we
yeah,
are we going?
Yeah, I've pulled you across, mate. I know you've got a bit of a delay.
This is the conversion chart. So we were using this a lot. They do also do you a very nice conversion chart for converting your D12s and your D20s for your stat rolls.
Because they've all got special symbols on.
Yeah. But we were mainly using it for this. The problem comes when you build a Wasteland Warfare list. Let's just put, where the fuck is Preston? Because Preston is the best example.
It's just
there is a lot of shit going on the cards. There
to be fair, you can just show everybody the amount of stupid little picture icons and how that's got to be decoded.
So Preston has built-in effects that are explained here. He doesn't have any armor. The armor's on a bolt-on card that you put on him. That's fine. Each of these icons is a different weapon skill or health value or a battle cry in its range or throwing grenades in its range. If he uses a pistol as a weapon, it's off a different stat to his actual rifle. And then intelligence in this instance is for unlocking chests and picking computers. All of this is fine because it all keys off cards.
It's a bit
That's
fiddly,
fine.
but
it's fiddly, but it's fine. These dice are the dice you roll. You roll these at short range, you roll these at long range. This is the damage that you do if you're successful. You then have to keep track of a crit meter that we haven't even mentioned, which is a fucking nightmare.
I think it's a bit powerful.
But then you have this long barrel. Let's increase short and long ranges each by one color. Okay, so blue, red becomes.
Is this the hardest way to do anything, or is it just me?
Black, green. So he did have a 16-inch threat range. He now has a 20-inch threat range.
22, wasn't it?
12 plus 8 is
not
20. 22. Sir.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, because he was outshot by the hunting rifle, even with his long barrel. I remember now.
And then we come to the fucking elephant in the room, which is down here. So if you roll, let me get my sheet. If you roll gear signs, you get what's called a quick action. Well, what can you do with a quick action? Only the things that are printed on the card. So Preston can prepare. Dog meat can prepare or move. But when you move one range less than what you're moving here. So
I mean, again,
red goes to yellow.
Those are your movement. Those are your movement stats, and they're little coloured squares. I mean, I don't get me wrong, Cheese Me. I am not going to defend this. I'm not going to defend the complexity here. I said to David at the time.
Should we go to the other?
There's so much. There's so much in this game that you could just.
How chems work?
Oh, let's not.
And slide under each other, and then you might get addicted.
I mean, they're upgrade cards that literally dynamically interact with other upgrade cards. They've got far too many fucking stupid little ideas in there. I said to David.
Well, to be fair, we played the scenario without the event deck and without the searchable item deck, and
Yeah.
it still worked fucking well.
I'll be honest, I said to David, what the fucking hell do you want little toolbox icons on the table to go and investigate for? When have you got time for that? The fucking scenario's hard enough. Oh, I'm just going to take a turn out to go and see what's in that toolbox. Fucking hell, why? Just play the fucking game. And it's like, I've got to worry about cover, and I've got to worry about all these fucking stupid little icons. Oh, and I tell you what, we've got acid rain this turn, so everybody's got to get rid of the event deck. No, don't need it. I mean,
good game. Looking forward to second edition because they have already announced that it's going to ranges, etc.
I do believe it is James M. Hewitt leading the redesign.
I do believe so.
I thought I'd heard that. If I'm talking complete bollocks, chat, correct me. I thought I'd heard James M. Hewitt was leading the redesign on this baby, and fucking hell, I'm
not gonna lie. I would like to play it solo and try and master it, but because we know we're going to second, there's no point now. It's dying. I'm gonna have what I've said to Jamie, who I work with and comes to club with us, we're gonna have a game of it in December.
Yep.
I have said to him also, after we've had the game of Wasteland Warfare in December, we are going to do a game of factions in January with the Get You By lists and compare and contrast Wasteland Warfare to factions.
I think factions is a better game, but the problem is I don't think it's different enough. I think it's just scuffling.
It's not got the story. It's D10's yeeting stuff and
it's just another reskinned skirmish game. From the battle reports I've seen, there's nothing there to say, oh, this has got really unique features. I mean, I might be wrong, and I'd be keen to play it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure. I tell you what, though, mate.
Yeah.
Whether second edition is good or bad, I'm going to say this now. I would like us to definitely explore this in our own way. I think this game is one that you need to curate your experience. Like, it needs to be not metered. It needs to be
you need
massive.
to build a list pretty much with what you see is what you get.
I think you definitely need to restrict model counts or points levels to avoid these becoming brain roasting torture fests.
I mean, may I also just point out to the room that this was a 550 point game. The standard game size is 750.
Yeah. I already felt I'd got way too much to worry about without that bollocks. The other thing is, I do think that if you were curating this game experience for yourself, you could go to like a Excel or some spreadsheet and do yourself custom cards and custom stat cards, so you could take all of that iconography, turn it into plain fucking readable English. And if you've got like a small model collection and are just playing for shits and giggles with your mate, you can just go through the different scenarios. Because I think from what I've seen with the stuff David's got, the strength of this game is in its scenario and campaign construction.
It's in the storytelling.
Yeah, they've really overcooked the gameplay side of it. But I'm glad.
I mean, again, I will say it does feel very Fallout, and I know we've commented on all the crit mechanics a bit broken because it is a fucking brutal crit mechanic. It's fill meter, declare attack using crit, auto hit, and do damage with opponent saving. It is horrible as crit mechanics go. But the second point is, I actually don't feel that bad about it because it's not on a random roll.
No,
it's on.
It's very predictable.
it's on predictability, etc. So if you know
Yeah.
that the opponent's like right next door to critting, it's like, right, well, I'm going to stay the fuck away from that boy.
Do you know what? I agree with you. Do you know what? That is a very well observed point, actually. I don't really understand why the crit mechanic is there, because it's like, if you hit X amounts of times with this weapon, your next hit will be a crit if you want. And it's sort of like, doesn't seem very thematic, seems a bit arbitrary. Why is it there at all? But I will give you, I do like the fact that it's roll a 20, get a crit. And then you get lucky and do that 3 times on the trot, and you're just like, what the fuck? This is like, did you hit? Start counting. 1, 2, 3. Your next shot, burn your crit counters, hit automatically, do more damage, or whatever. So yeah, I will give you that. That is something, at least, that it's not completely fucking random.
And I'll tell you
Like
the other
some
thing,
games.
it does feel very Fallouty with some of the weapon skills and what's it called? Some of how the dice mechanic works. The only thing that I will fucking bite its head off for is I had, what was it, round 4? 5 rolls across my 7 miniatures or 6 miniatures at that time with 2 actions because I was
Yeah,
double stacking things.
yeah, yeah,
Out of I think about 8 rolls that I did, 5 of them failed.
yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, it failed because of my shitty shooting stats and I should be stabbing them.
Evening,
It
Shakos.
was, I rolled the crit fail mechanic and I'm a twat.
Yeah, which you've got like 3 in 20 chance of rolling.
Something like
15%.
that.
I mean, D20 systems are what they are. Frostgrave is the same. And I will say,
it's 3 in 20, 1 in 10 are really bad.
yeah, I'll be
Because 1 in
brutally
10
honest
give
as
you nothing
well.
extra.
This comes down to what we commented on about Moonstone and why we didn't really chime with it.
Yeah.
If
I mean, again,
your rule system, let me finish the thought, mate, and then I'll let you have a say. If your rule system is going for the random as fuck cinematic, chuck the dice and see, like Frostgrave, classic example, you know, oh, my little thief is gonna try and block the mammoth with his spear so that my wizard doesn't get tanked, and you roll a 20 and spear the mammoth through the eye and kill it in one shot. You're like, oh, wasn't expecting that. And it's like, if your game does that, the time I invest to make decisions within that game should be proportionate to the potential success or failure. So, like, in Frostgrave, it's like, what are you going to do? I'm going to go over there and twat that guy. Oh, that ended badly. Never mind, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to try and twat that guy. It's like everything moves at a pace. Go, 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 go. I'm not like, oh, well, if I use this upgrade and then get that right, if I'm exactly 14 inches and you're not in. If your game does that, do not have the random outcome determined by a d20. Okay, I'm just saying. If I spend 10 minutes thinking about something, I don't want a d20 to be the fucking make or break. What were you going to say, mate?
what I was saying is, yes, thematically, it's really good in how it plays. It feels very Fallout.
Darren, yeah,
The crit mechanic
agree,
feels
mate.
very Fallout as
Agree.
well. But like you say, I think this gets away with slightly more murder than Moonstone, because whilst yes, it is clunky and you have to think about it a little bit and other stuff, it's also not like the same as Moonstone where you have to reset that deck between every activation. You're looking at what you've got on your cards in front of you, you're looking at the statistics that you have, and you're looking at the scenario playing out to make your decisions. That it's all stuff that's under your control and in front of you. There's no shitty bluff mechanic. There's no fucking oh well, we're doing magic 3 times this round, so we need to reshuffle that deck 3 fucking times.
Yeah. Yeah.
That goes into it. Yes, I'm defending it because I love the game and I love the principle of playing a game of Fallout. Because again,
to be fair though, I understand what you're saying, but again, just thinking, even if, let's say for a fact you and I were a bit more veteran at playing that game, and we could interpret the iconography at a glance, and we'd got the free action shit down pat, and we knew exactly what everybody did, there's still, do I activate now or do I put the ready token on? When do I activate with people? What order do I go in? Is now my moment? So, do you know what I mean? And ultimately, it's like you've just said, you can do all of that thinking and planning and then just roll crit fucking X's. And it's just like, why? Why have a plan? Just fucking go for it. But yeah, I agree, Darren. Darren says he wants to try Rangers because he moved it to 2d10 versus d20 to try and smooth out that probability curve. We need to get Bayonet to the table because I think he did something similar with Bayonet, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure he did. The other thing, we need to get Bayonet to the table for Ricky.
Yeah.
Right. It's 20 to the top of the hour.
Before we move on to the jingle, I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank Shakos, Pandy, and Ricky and Rich and Alex and the chap from Tilney All Saints whose name I can't remember, but I think he might have been Paul like me. But if I got your name wrong, sir, sorry. But everybody, Big Lee, for saying hello and being polite, and when I fanboyed him while he was trying to take his photos for his website, for his YouTube channel. So yes, thank you to everybody I met at the other Partisan show. It was a fantastic show, and I really enjoyed it. Ricky really enjoyed it. It was his first show. And I think it might be a regular fixture for Ricky for us coming along to Partisan. I think it really tickled his pickle, as we would say. In terms of shopping, I've been thrown under the bus, so I did not buy any new games.
You fucking lying cunt!
Alex! No,
Paul.
No, hang on. I'm going to mute him. Hang on.
No, right. Hold up what you purchased and let people at home decide.
Okay, so basically, Alex and I have been talking about next year and our big plan. So we saw, I think I mentioned this on stream a week or 2 weeks ago. We looked at the Hi-Ho starter from Wargames Atlantic for 10 mil Japanese Sengoku period. Might be 15 mil. I'm not sure. I know that there's about 800 fucking miniatures in the box, which is pretty nuts. So we were talking about what our plan was, and we've been talking through options, and we have decided we are going to probably buy the starter set anyway because the miniatures are fucking cool and it's great value. So this is the Wargames Atlantic Hey-Ho starter set. I have heard though that the rule set is not that good. And I've seen that on the internet. So we looked at Pike and Shot Epic by Warlord, which Alex bought a copy of the core rulebook, and because we are sort of doing this project. Shush! If we're doing as we're doing this project together, I said to Alex, "Okay, mate, fair play. I will go to Warlord now and buy the Samurai Sengoku period Wars of the Samurai Pike and Shot supplement. So I haven't bought any rules sets.
You liar! You liar! Did you own Pike and Shot before the fucking...
Shush!
when you
Shush!
went to
Mute him!
Partisan?
Mute him! Quick! Mute him!
Cunt.
So this is I won't have any miniatures for this until next year, but
That's not how this works. That's not how
Right.
this works. Oh, I bought myself
Now then,
a rules
hang
set, but
on.
I've got no miniatures.
hang on, Cheese Me makes a great point. But that's 28mm, Paul, not 10. And you know what, Cheese Me? You are exactly correct. However, the beauty of going to places like Partisan is you get to question people who know these game systems inside and fucking out. And I found a guy who was running a demonstration game for Pike and Shot, was his rule set. And I said, can I just be cheeky and interrupt, mate? Do you know it well? And do you know the epic version? And he was a fan. I didn't get his name, and shame on me. But again, the moral is, go to these shows because you meet some fucking awesome people who are so helpful.
You are getting fucking
anyway,
stabbed in chat, mate.
this
For being called a politician.
this bloke
You've
basically
apparently
said,
got to buy Spam a ring now.
He
because you
said-
bought a new game.
he basically said, yes, absolutely, your idea will work. The actual underlying core differences between the games are literally in the epic version, you have to buy armies differently. So instead of buying your pike and your shot units and then building little blocks of troops, you buy it as a... So he said your army listing won't work, but all of the rules will be fine. Won't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference. Just whatever's in that book, you'll be able to weave it into Epic. Not a problem. It's completely useful. So,
Night, Darren.
on the basis of what that helpful chap said, I bought the book. We're going to run it at 10 or whatever. Did somebody tell me what size the Wargames Atlantic minis are? Because I can't remember. I think it's 10, but it might be 15 now. I've said that. And we'll let you know. 2026, you'll know how it's going. By the way, Shakos is right. This fucking book is amazing. If you're at all a Japanophile, do you know what? I've already nearly read it cover to cover. I mean, it's not a massive book, but fucking hell, is this a good book? The only thing I will say is it mentions during the historical section at the beginning, which is probably the first half of the book, just the history of the Sengoku period. It mentions about the Japanese having these formations that were classic to the period, and they had these, they're almost like rote strategies that the generals used against each other, almost like rock paper scissors. So like they had crescent moon and whatever, and they mention it, but then it isn't implemented in the rule set. So I was like, oh, that's a little bit disappointing. I mean, there's loads of other cool shit that they've implemented, like samurai duels and fucking the daimyo general rules with his base camp and shit. That's all super cool in his bodyguard unit. But they haven't done that. So I think Banzai does do that. But again, I've read people online saying it does it, but it does it really badly, and it's a ton of work for not a lot of reward. So we might homebrew something to make this totally fun for 10 mil. But yeah, watch this space, and that's my confession. I bought this and I shouldn't have. Okay?
Oh, Ross, in answer to your question about Fallout, is it because I don't know the Fallout rules? I don't know at the moment, but also I don't think that will be the case. I think that actually knowing the rules a bit better, it will still feel chaotic because of that fucking D20. I don't think there's anything to get out of and or around or out of that bus. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's a D20. It's always going to be a little bit chaotic and a little bit bouncy.
Ewok,
Right.
Clash of Katanas was a Kickstarter, wasn't it? Did it go to retail in the end then? Or did you pick up like a Kickstarter version that somebody had sold off? I didn't realise that had gone, because I did look at it, and then everything I looked at sort of was like Kickstarter. And I didn't realise it had gone to... And my next question is, give me the lowdown on whether it's a good rule set or not. Because that's... What scale is it? Is it scale agnostic? Do I remember reading? Squint, squint. Right. When you finish bantering.
Oh, actually, can I just make a public service announcement for when I got
it's
salty the other week about games editions? Because Ewoks just reminded me of it here. I didn't mention Billion Sons. Billion Sons is getting a second edition, and of course, I had just picked up some minis to start painting it. So, David's right yet again. If anybody wants a new edition for a game, just send it to me. Because that apparently is my thing this year.
Sorry, Pandy.
Where's German Camo Beige?
Ewok says, I haven't got a Scooby. I'll get back to you in 2027 when I get around to opening it. Well, if you've got it, Toros, I'm suspecting it probably does small scale. Because that's your thing, isn't it, mate? Okay, noted on the Wargames Atlantic, Shakos. Because funnily enough, Alex and I were talking about, do we get a box each? Do we split one? I might look into that. Oh, that's right, because Clash of Spears and Katanas was a variant of that Clash of Spears, wasn't it? Do you know what? I think I watched a battle report while I was doing my research from a couple of American guys playing with their teenage lads. Doing a game of Clash of Katanas, and I've got a feeling it's a very small war bandy, isn't it? I'll be honest, Toros, we want the large scale experience, which is why we're not going with the Warlord 28 anyway. Because the other thing is, I'll probably also get into Test of Honor or Bushido, which will be my skirmish level Japanese game. Right.
It's the part of the show that we have come to know as the latest salty blizzard of nerdy sorrow. More news than you can shake the salt at. More news than you can shake the salt at.
Right, guys, let's talk about some news and let's bang through this bitch. Right. Defiance.
We've just been talking about them.
Sorry?
We've just been talking about Wargames. We've literally just been talking about Wargames Atlantic.
Talking of Wargames Atlantic, this is actually a really positive story, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's how you should treat your customer base. GW, if you're watching this stream, we're looking at you. So the background to this is the guy from Wargames Atlantic,
Tony
Hudson
Reedy?
Adams. Well, no,
And
isn't
Hudson
it
Adams?
Hudson Adams? And Tony Reedy was his other name. Whatever way it cuts. He had 2 failed companies and failed Kickstarters back in the late noughties, early 2010s.
I thought it was 2013.
The first stuff that he mentions in his blogs about 08 and 09.
Right.
with the Chinese company and stuff.
This
So
is
he
the
had that.
this is the
Then he did.
Kickstarter that it's all about. This is the
Yeah. Then he
original
did that.
page.
Yeah. So this was back in 2013.
Something like that, I think.
And unfortunately, this was a Kickstarter that never delivered. 686 backers, 40, near as damn it, 46 and a half grand
Yeah,
for
40 odd
some
thousand.
sci-fi
It's
mechs,
dollars.
and
So,
they look cool.
yep.
And also this is like early 2010 pricing, so you could probably add a 10 to that now with the increase in Kickstarters and everything.
And that is the point, that this was 12 years ago that this all went to shit.
Yes.
And yet 12 years later, oh mate, Toros, I will. So that's the new range, is it? Oh, that would be so helpful so that we can have a look at the figures. I will DM you straight after the show with my postal. You absolute fucking legend. Oh, awesome.
So yeah, this never delivered. He felt bad about it.
Yeah.
He then
Noted
founded
he
War
wa-
Games Atlantic under an alias because he went bankrupt with everything that went on. Now he wants to give back to the community and the fact that those people supported him 13 years ago, and he's not forgotten about you and where he's come from. So he's refunding every single Kickstarter pledge. And if you refund it for War Games Atlantic credit, you get 150% of its value.
Which,
So,
I mean, do you know what? Credit to the guy. It took him 12 years to make it right, but you've got to respect the fact that he never forgot. And if you want to be cynical and say that this is a fucking publicity stunt, then fine, I guess. I guess you can be cynical to that degree about everything in life. But I just think it's a good news story and totally respect the bloke. You know, to come back 12 years after something's gone fucking arse up and just say to everybody, look, get in touch with me, you get your money back.
yeah, to
Credit.
be fair, go give it a read. It's a good story, and this, when you compare and contrast this to the Salt Fest that is going to happen at the end of this new segment, and we go straight into main topic, is going to be chalk and cheese different.
Yeah.
I've always liked the cut of WA's jib. The miniatures are good.
They're
The
great
miniatures are
value.
decent quality as well. The
Yeah.
value is good.
The range is
at
excellent.
At the end of the day, it's good. Now he's in a position to refund that 46.5 grand, that he can refund that 46.5 grand.
So yeah, as I say, the big long post on Wargames Atlantic's website, he completely, it's the whole thing, beginning to end, tells you all the fucking dirty laundry out in the public. So yeah, go and have a look if you're interested. And if you are somebody who backed this Kickstarter back in the day and is out of pocket, go and get your money back. You know, have his arm off, because you know he's made the offer. So let's take him up on it. Next, this was one you sent to me, wasn't it, mate? Lazy Forger, 2 days.
Yes.
City decor.
He is finally getting around to sculpting the last of the Wave 3 stuff, and we have ruined scenery. Main reason I sent this to you, can you imagine some of them ruined billboards and the ruined sculptures for Epic Warpath?
Yes. Very much so.
It looks amazing.
These sort of semi-destroyed skyscraper things look fucking amazing with the battle damage on. What are these? Like, they look like little, like, I guess trees growing within a wall.
They're planters. They're planters.
Well, yeah, but not at this scale, they're not.
City centre planters with like bushes in.
Oh, right. So, okay. My God, they must be fucking tiny. I love the way
But
he's
yeah,
done like a damaged and an undamaged version of all of the shit. That is cool.
yes,
This is the power of 3D printing, though, isn't it? That, and
yeah.
just in case you were getting excited, everybody, this is the drawback with all this bollocks. It's ones and zeros. So us normal mortals can't enjoy it. But it does look fucking cool. Does look very cool. And like you say, some of this stuff for Epic Warpath is a absolute shoe-in. Last piece of news, and what we'll do is we'll get a little taster for the drama to come. So it's the internet is awash with Warhammer drama at the moment, like it always fucking is. But this is so Siege Studios are a company that does commission painting, and they've been in the industry for donkey's years. I honestly don't know how long Siege Studios have been in the scene, but
A while.
the bloke who runs, essentially, there is this term which I didn't know about called war boot, which is like a car boot. For those of you who don't come from the UK, this is where you turn up and sell stuff from a trestle table or the boot of your car. This is pre-owned items that you're selling to other people. Think garage sale or in the US or whatever, but it's not at your home or out of your garage. You go to like a field, or some sort of communal area, like open markets and that sort of thing, and everybody congregates and everybody sells out of a pitch, a bit like a pop-up market for the amateur. And this term war boot has been in use for, I think, years now to describe these sort of car boots where people sell second-hand Warhammer shit. And there's loads of gaming clubs that organise impromptu events around the country. The term is almost common parlance if you're into fucking 40k or GW games in the UK. And Siege Studios tried to trademark this term, and then slapped they did like a social media search, somebody at their offices, and then basically sent really rude cease and desist emails to everybody who'd got like a Facebook group that used the term war boot or whatever. And basically they've had the piss ripped out of them by the online guys, because first of all, the trademark application they put in was not for the word, but was for a custom graphic that used the word as its basis. So they put in an image trademark, not a word trademark, which obviously they were called out on straight away. So then they put in the word trademark, and it just got worse for them, because having doubled down, everybody went, "You're just twats." And basically the upshot of it was the guy who runs Siege or owns Siege or set Siege up, I don't know what the full story is, issued an apology video where he didn't actually use the word sorry. I think he maybe said it once in like a 15-minute video. It was one of those absolutely cringing apology, not an apology.
It's corporate apology. It's
sorry, not sorry. But this is one of those farcical stories that is just such a laugh. If you want like 30 minutes of laughs, just Google it, Siege Studios and Warboot, and just watch some of the fucking video content and read some of the social media posts. These guys got the shit kicked out of them. And quite deservedly so, because it was a pompous prick thing to do. To try and effectively just corner and commercialise normal social activity within the hobby. It's like, piss off. If you haven't got a good idea of your own, just stay at home. Don't fucking rob somebody else's idea. Talking of robbing and somebody else's idea, shall we get onto the main topic, mate?
Right,
Look at
who's
that.
been living under a rock for the
Silky
past
smooth.
7 days? Because this dropped last Thursday in the daytime and it hadn't quite blown up and gone as viral. But now, a week later, it has gone viral. So here we are doing this as the main topic, boys and girls. GW are taking Gamac in
There
Italy
we go.
to court over unfair competition.
Yeah.
Now, some of you may question what are they doing? Long story short, GW in 2023 issued a lot of letters to a lot of 3D printing companies going, your shit is a lot like our miniatures. Take it down. They also issued this same letter to Gamac saying over 1,000 of your miniatures are infringing, but refused to give him a list. Gamac reached out multiple times via letter for clarification and received nothing. GW threw their weight around and screamed at my mini factory, you need to take them down now. Yeah, okay, tell us which ones. And they never did. Now, 2 years later, we're getting a unfair competition lawsuit. So, yeah, GW. I don't really know where to go from here now.
He's run out of steam.
I don't. So
I mean, there are loads of things about this that I don't normally cover this sort of thing. But David mentioned it. I was familiar with it. I tell you what we'll do first. Let's actually probably give Games Workshop the benefit of the doubt. So I said to David, because he's much more up on his ones and zeros, and he wanted to cover the story a little bit more enthusiastically than perhaps I did, because I don't really care too much. But I said to him, because you made a comment, didn't you, mate, that some of Gamac's 3D prints do verge on taking the piss.
yeah, some of Gamac's. So Gamac produces STLs that are, what's the easiest way of this put in? Proxies and substitutes for 40k.
Yeah.
They are useful for OPR rules and other bits and pieces and compatible with OPR rules. But let's be brutally honest here with the elephant in the room. Most people are buying Gamac STLs to print for GW games.
Yeah, and as you will see by some of the shit that he has got on his website, his attempts to even, look like he's trying to do something unique is, I mean, Jesus Christ, he's not even making the effort sometimes. These things, if you squinted, you would think it was a GW model, and even one of their current range. I mean, I don't know the 40k range well enough to tell you, but that is one of their Dark Angel characters, isn't it?
Yes,
that is an almost perfect pose copy of a current Dark Angel model, yes? And the one out of the ones that David sent me that immediately I was like, what? That is just a Primaris tank, isn't it? What's it called? An aggressor?
Yes.
What is, whatever the Primaris tank is, that's fucking, like, come on, mate. Yeah, I mean, you're not
we
even.
We also have Chaos Raptors and Hellbrutes that look extremely like Chaos Raptors and Hellbrutes.
Yeah.
I mean, he has taken a token effort occasionally. So there is a Kroot model that Kroot proxy model that I sent you.
Yeah, I've got the
That
Croots. I've got the Croots on now, mate. I'll be honest. I would still say these are. I mean, look at the feet. The fact that they've got that fan hair. I mean, these are
Yeah.
pretty fucking near. I mean, I know you think they're not as bad, but again,
They're the best example of him doing his
I
own
mean,
creative license.
even the fucking
Probably.
Kroot life rifle with the built-in blade. I mean, that touch, that design touch is not necessary. He could have done that any other way, but it's so fucking close. I mean, I'll be just looking at some of the stuff that he's got. You brought it on yourself in a way, mate. I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, what were you thinking?
Yeah, but so I just want to address chat here. We've got Toro saying Italian IP works differently to British IP. Whilst this is true, they are not going for directly for IP infringement. They're going for unfair competition. My mini factory is based within the UK. They could have taken my mini factory to court over the IP infringement for these models without having to even involve GAMAC.
I think there's another reason why they didn't. I think there's another reason why they did not do that. And that is this. So you guys will remember, some of us who are old enough, there was a company called Chapter House that back in the day created upgrade and mod parts for essentially a lot of the marine. So they created shoulder pads and custom weapons for people who wanted to build space marine armies. And Games Workshop, they actually took this one all the way to court, and they barely won half of their IP infringement claims. I think the main reason they did not go down the IP route, but actually are trying a different legal tack, is that this case didn't go very well for them. Like I say, when you look at it, less than half of the claims they made were upheld by the court. Now, the thing as I understand it is, because they've got bottomless pockets and Chapter House didn't have a pot to piss in, just the fact that they won half of their claims and just the fact that Chapter House decided to defend this meant that Chapter House still went under, so GW won in the end. But I think this definitely will have influenced the lawyer's decision on whether we think the IP is worth it.
Yeah.
And I think that is why they've gone for this unfair competition thing, which is basically, I've just watched a video by Lords of War Games and Hobbies on YouTube, and it's like a concept that your business is parasitic on work we have done, and without that work you don't have a business. And from what was being said, I think this legal point is actually quite unique to Europe. The problem Games Workshop have got, as I can see it, is even if they win in the Italian courts, and by implication the European Union courts, is both the UK and the US are no longer or not subject to the EU court rulings. So I don't know how this gets them a great deal of far forward, unless if they can just literally push the legal case to the point where even if he wins, GAMAC still goes under because he gets crushed by the legal fees. That might be what they're trying to do. So like a Chapter House 2.0.
Yeah, they're doing lawfare.
Yeah. And
My concern is the angle they've taken, and it has been mentioned that the unfair competition is bullshit. Now we're going to come on to both angles of this in a minute, because yes, there is a bullshit principle to it, because it's IP infringement, and at the end of the
yeah,
day, he is treading a very,
yeah,
very, 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 very fucking tight rope with what he's done currently and the sitting on stuff. But the alternative implication is GW win this case wholeheartedly if it ends up in court and there's no out of court settlement before the case gets heard or anything else, because they're lawfaring away. The principle I have and the concerns I have is if they win, this hobby is fucked.
when you say
Because
this hobby, be clear, what do you mean?
miniature wargaming in general.
I think,
Because
wow, that is a fucking claim. Wow, you're gonna have to. Wow, go on then.
so
Let's hear it.
the reason I state this, GW themselves have based a lot of their IP upon historical shit. So Dune, Star Wars, other bits and pieces have gone into them. Dwarves aren't their invention, etc. They've been picked up from places.
But that is why
No,
they're
just
not pursuing the fantasy argument, but only the
but
futuristic.
let me finish my statement.
Okay, go on.
So if you buy a box of mantic orcs or goblins or dwarves, technically they could be used as proxy models for GW games. And therefore unfair competition.
Well,
Because
no,
because and the reason I say unfair competition is because GW are not getting with the times. Every other company, Modifius, Mantic, are now offering 3D print options for customers and consumers. The dangerous angle is, where do you draw the line? Yes, those Mantic STLs
true.
are drawn from stuff that they have molded. But if they're using the 3D printing undercuts our business and is unfair, well, hang on a minute. These are designed and built off of the actual molding. We're just providing them in a format for consumers to print at home, because actually there are some people that are into this hobby and the 3D printing hobby, and therefore happily will print their armies rather than buy it from us. GW at the moment will not
Yeah.
ever jump on that STL bandwagon.
Not until they can lock it totally behind DRM. Not unless the DRM is 100% lock solid. Okay, mate. I'll give you that was a case well argued, and I think you've definitely hit the nail on the head. The issue is 3D printing, not physical models. I think if you are just making your physical models in your own business, I don't think Games Workshop care, because they can outfight you in that arena. They've already got far more investment.
Have access to the tooling and
Yeah.
everything else, and
Yeah.
can
They can already smash you out of the park. They've got far more manufacturing capacity, far more design capacity, far more resources than you. They can beat you in that arena. It's like you said, the 3D printing arena they have not entered, but it is, well, in their opinion, is competing with their physical model business. And I'll be honest, this is where my point of view primarily sits. I think that Games Workshop are being fucking ridiculous. This is the statement for 24-25. 565 million core revenue, 220 million core operating profit. This is not licensing profit. This is the core business profit on the core business revenue. They are making £220 million of profit So this is all manufacturing costs, material, staff costs, asset depreciation.
Location costs.
Yeah, this is profit on that. And they're worried about this knobhead in Italy making a few quid on fucking flogging STLs. No, you're not worried about this. You're just being a twat for the sake of being a twat. I'm sorry. Don't care. You are literally just throwing your weight about as the biggest bully in the room.
Ewok, you can't patent or copyright rule sets.
Yeah,
That's
already been determined in court. Yeah. Oh, I think he's making a joke, mate, because he's saying any idiot with a crayon could do better.
Just addressing the room. Do you know what I mean?
Funnily enough, my only negative experience at fucking Partisan was talking to somebody about 40k, and he said about like, well, why does nobody play it in your gaming group? And I said because all the rules are shit. And I don't think he was impressed. But you got to call a spade a spade.
Here's the other argument, and I've seen this argument stated multiple times on Reddit.
Yeah.
Take those 3D printed miniatures and go to a tournament with them. If they're not legal for tournament entry, how the fuck are they competing?
Well, this is yes, yeah. This is the other thing why I think this is bollocks. So what you're telling me, Games Workshop, is everybody who bought an STL pack from Gamac, if they could not have bought that STL pack, would have spent £1,000 buying an army from you. Bollocks. The whole reason these people went to Gamac was because they'd already said, have you seen what these fucking jokers are charging? They can fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
I hope
none of this makes any sense. And I'll be honest, I also think if they do win in court, I don't know what. I'll eat my fucking trousers, because it's the most ridiculous claim. You know, that any court is going to say, oh yeah, I can see you might have made £650 million in fucking revenue if only Gamac had not been there. Piss off. You know,
well, again,
you're already selling. I mean, fucking hell, games. How many problems in 2024 and 2025 did your Games Workshop have with actually being out of stock of stuff because they don't have the manufacturing capacity for their market already, and they're going, unfair competition. Fuck off.
I was about to come to this in a second, actually, which is interesting. So. Firstly, I hope they've employed some of the lawyers that have recently been used in the UK case of Marks and Spencer's versus Aldi over Cuthbert the Caterpillar, because that ended in an out-of-court settlement, and Aldi are still selling Cuthbert the Caterpillar. They've just made some changes to him. So there's a handy tip for anyone watching this. Go find the Aldi lawyers. But secondly, the argument here, like we're saying, is lost sales, and we've already said it's a fucking piss up in a brewery because of lack of stock and everything else. It's not. GW are managing the supply to make the demand.
Yeah, Cheese Me's
and making things limited release. If they stopped making everything fucking limited release every 5 minutes, there would be less of a market for scalpers and less of a market for people having to go to the likes of Gamac. Let's
just call them. Let's be as harsh as possible and defend Games Workshop's corner and call them plagiarists. Let's give Games Workshop a solid just this once. That's all you're getting. Fucking hell.
Toros makes a point. I know
Yeah,
somebody made
I
some too
no.
much time when they start
Yeah,
ripping it off. I'd be pissed. GW have every right to be pissed, but their current argument is on foundations that are currently in quicksand. And the reason I state that fact is because they are so fragile, and the bricks can be pulled out from under the entire deck of cards. Because again, the Aldi versus Marks and Spencer's argument, people don't wander into Aldi to buy a Cuthbert the Caterpillar birthday cake expecting M&S quality and the M&S price tag and everything else.
yeah.
And that's what went in their favourite core. People have already mentioned it in chat. How can it be unfair competition if you physically yourself do not manufacture the goods in the same manner? You don't
Aldi
do
Battle Hammer.
you don't
Fucking hell.
do
If you're CEO of Aldi and you're watching this, do that. Because that's fucking genius. Sorry, mate,
Warhammer
go on.
39k.
Fucking
But
hell.
make sure you do Warhammer in iconography so they can't get you for it. Because I don't. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Handy dandy legal tip for you.
Yeah.
It's the implications of this though are massive. You've got a 20 million 20 or 200 million dollar company with what, thousands of employees?
Ooh, GW.
Yeah.
Oh, and the rest. I mean, fucking hell, mate. Their revenue was nearly £600 million. I don't know what the company valuation would be. Jesus Christ almighty.
Fighting 12 men in an Italian shed.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is, Crispin, they're always doing this, which is why I sort of kept my thumbnail quite generic. Right? I do not dispute that this company introduced me to the fucking hobby, right? Games Workshop was the only vaguely hobby activity I did before Games Workshop games was I played Dungeons and Dragons first. So technically, I suppose Dungeons and Dragons introduced me to the game. Shakos says current valuation of Games Workshop is nearly 4.8 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
GW is bigger than the British fishing industry. What fucking fishing industry, Ewok?
Frankly, Ewok, my paycheck's bigger than the British fishing industry now. What was I saying? So, do you know what? They are they are part of the furniture. They're part of the heritage of the game. And I agree with Toros. I absolutely agree that their lawyers should be pursuing cases against people who make STLs that are basically a fucking gusset hair away from being a 3D scan of something that they already manufacture. And if they use their design team smartly to create unique aesthetic designs, fucking defend them in court. Absolutely. But surely the problem is like every time we see this happening, it's like I have a feeling that if Games Workshop don't drop the case, I mean, here's a scenario I thought. Games Workshop could actually drop the case at the 11th hour, like 2 hours before they're due in court.
As they're walking through the court doors.
Do you know what I mean? They could literally say, do you know what, we won't bother. But they can already do so much damage to Gamak's business and his life and his marriage and his fucking mental health that he wouldn't, his company wouldn't survive anyway. Chapter House anybody, right? And it's like, I would feel a lot more sympathetic if these people weren't making money hand over fucking fist. This, I don't buy it. This isn't damaging your business significantly. You're damaging your business by driving your customers elsewhere, as David has said, by overpricing, undersupplying, and ripping everybody, basically saying, how much can I wring out of you before you've had enough? Right? Chuck him on the pile. Next!
Have I got my 3 years of money worth out of
Yeah.
you? No. Right. Well, you can stay a little bit longer. You've been here 3 years and you're getting a bit pissed off with me. Fuck off to Gamak then, because you're dead to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. If Gamak got hit with a court, again, the legal system needs fucking reform. I mean, I'm only familiar with the one here in the UK, but I can tell you, as a resident of the UK, that our legal system is currently captured politically and not fit for fucking purpose. And that's civil and criminal law. It needs massive reform. Games Workshop should be able to take out, it's like Toros has said, one of the Gamak models is an exact rip-off of a Dark Angel's, except they've literally inverted the wing symbol on the Dark Angel. Stuff like that, Games Workshop should be able to get a court injunction that gets Gamak to take that off the market within 48 hours, or face criminal sanction. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't, the law should allow them to defend what is obvious theft of intellectual property and design infringement. But to actually win by default because you started from a stronger position is amoral and shit. And it doesn't smell like justice to me.
No, this needs to be the line in the sand for everyone, right? Because of again, they are not defending IP here. Yeah. They are going with the unfair competition angle, whether that be on lawyers' advice or anything else.
I mean, Crispin's right. Yeah, go on, mate. Finish your point.
This is the angle they are taking. If they win, as I've already stated earlier, this hobby is dead. This needs to be the final line in the stand for everyone to never, ever buy another GW product ever again. Never buy anything Warhammer. I am finding alternatives for all of my contrast paints, all of my Nuln Oil and Agrax Earthshade, because they do not deserve a penny. These people are not proper custodians or here to help the community
and the hobby. I'll be honest, again, everybody's going to take their own position, but I'm exactly like David. I've already got out of the habit of buying their game systems because I just think they're shit. But actually, from now on, I would never buy a new Games Workshop product, even to the point of not buying their paints and washes and brush, anything. I am done with this company till they stop being such complete cocks.
Again,
and
as
I was all excited
that...
for the new Warhammer Quest rebirth, and I even that looks sort of tempting. I fucking missed out on Warhammer Quest, and I didn't get Silver Tower, and I regretted it, and I didn't get Shadows over Hammerhall or whatever it was called, and I regretted it. Should I get this Dark Water? Well, no, you can fuck off. I'm not interested. Absolutely not. I've had enough. But somebody mentioned about Russian Russian copyists, and I think China is definitely a bigger problem in that regard. There was this, again, I don't really understand this. Apparently they got a judgment in a US court for $10 million against 280 companies that were basically doing blatant intellectual property theft around the world. From what I can tell, though, the vast majority of the 280 firms were Chinese recasters who, oddly enough, don't really give a shit about US judgments in court. Because it's like, so
or any
again,
legal judgments in court.
maybe somebody can explain to me why they even fucking bothered with this, because it's like, you know, I
mean,
don't.
has anybody ever seen a Chinese land wind? Just go to Google, Paul, and search for land wind.
Land wind.
Yes.
Okay, hang on a minute.
Because the one and only time I've been to China, these were fucking everywhere.
Will I have to put China, or is it the only thing that... Oh, right, okay. Go away. Right, okay.
If the BMW group can't fucking win this case in China, you're fucked.
So, Jaguar Land Rover, they had a falling out and conflict with them. In 2019, the Landwind only sold about 1,000 vehicles after a high, and then it was finished. So what was this? Was this something?
Basically, they're direct clones of Jaguar Land Rover vehicles.
Okay, right.
High-end vehicles in China that have got that sort of British JLR aesthetic, but obviously produced and designed in China, ripped off. Similarly, they've got like the fucking minis done the same way and everything else.
Well, they got a good 15. They got a good 15 years out of it, 2002 to 2019, before they gave up on ripping them off. So they did okay. Night cheese, me.
But this is my point. If fucking if the BMW and Jaguar Land Rover Group and that are bigger companies than GW can't win.
Oh, thank you, Shakos. I didn't realise that. So the reason the US judgment was important was it got all of those products removed from US-based platforms like Amazon and eBay, and I suppose that drove everybody. The only way they could get it was on Alibaba
and
Temu,
Alibaba.
And actually they've got a far smaller market penetration. Thank you. I had missed that subtlety, but thank you, Shakos. That does make sense now. I get that. I mean, I think it's Toros says, can you imagine Futsal bringing someone to court over ripping off their miniatures? Would people be jumping up and down? I think there's a lot bound up in that. I think the reason I'm annoyed by this is that it's just normal. It's Games Workshop's normal fucking practice now.
It's lawfare, and again, we've already sort of touched on the fact that it's basically an auto win for them. They don't even have to turn up at court, and they've won this case without even trying.
Because even if they lose this case, they've won this case, because once everybody sees Gamak fall, they'll be they'll just fucking be more. I suppose that's the point, isn't it? Once
Gamak is the fall guy.
Yeah, once he goes bankrupt or loses everything, everybody who gets a cease and desist from GW in future will just go, remember Gamak? I don't want to be like that. So yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately here, Gamak is the fall guy, and there's not a lot we can do. I mean, again,
the other thing that came up when David and I were discussing this, right, is, does everybody remember the OGL scandal with Hasbro Wizards of the Coast? So the OGL refers, when D&D started to get really successful in 3rd edition, I think it was, or when it was successful, I believe it was already owned by Wizards of the Coast. they issued what was called an open gaming license to foster companies like
Creativity
Paizo.
in the community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wanted to get third-party contributors to expand upon the gaming environment to increase the appeal for their core game products. And to be fair, it was massively successful, and the open gaming license system definitely expanded the popularity of Dungeons and Dragons. A couple of years ago, I think it was, Wizards of the Coast, now under the auspices of Hasbro, decided now was the time to regret that decision and actually say, yeah, but we're stupid, because by doing this, we've actually given people a license to print money off our back.
Yeah, people have got businesses based around supplying supplements for D&D that
Yeah.
are legal, because we opened an OGL years ago, and we've been a company of our own, and we stood by it. But enough is enough now. We're owned by Hasbro. Do you notice the common denominator here? Publicly traded companies
Yeah.
being assholes.
Yeah. Now, this one played out again. I don't know exactly how big the markets are. I suspect Wizards of the Coast's Dungeons and Dragons market isn't as big as Games Workshop's core market, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Somebody who's got the numbers or the smarts can comment in the chat or below.
I reckon it might be bigger, mate. I
But
reckon it might be bigger than GW.
Wizards of the community backlash was massive. And basically, all of the big companies that had been supporting games, the D&D core game with supplements, said, that's fine. We'll create our own games with our own independent. We will change it just enough that you can't touch us, and we will basically fuck off and leave you for dead. You are dead
High
to
and
us.
dry.
And fair play. Wizards of the Coast read the room and went, yeah, that's... No, I get... I wanted to separate the D&D part of their business out from Magic. I know that they're the same company, but again, none of this OGL impacted Magic the Gathering. This was just like the role-playing community saying, okay then, you do that, we'll all fuck off somewhere else. Thanks very much.
You see that little rock in the corner? We're going to go claim that as our own.
And
now, bye!
I think, and to be fair, D&D Beyond, which is their digital platform, subscriptions absolutely fucking tanked. And
Ewok just
said, yeah, Critical Role walked away.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Critical Role walked away and have designed their own gaming system now, haven't they?
The D&D Beyond subscriptions tanked, and they literally lost millions of dollars off their top line in a matter of weeks. And obviously, immediately they were like, fucking hell, read the room, row it back. And I think it was within a couple of months of the drama kicking off.
I think it was only 3 months top.
Yeah, it wasn't as long as you'd think with these things. Yeah, I agree. I can't watch Critical Role either, Toros. But anyway, that's a different topic. They basically said, okay, yeah, no, we'll leave it. We're leaving it alone. The OGL stands. We're not going to rewrite it. We're not going to come after you for copyright. We don't want to fucking license your stuff and then take 20% off the top. You can calm down, everybody. Calm down. And they backed out. Do you know what I mean? They didn't take anybody to court. They didn't get fucking crazy because they're already minted. They thought, fucking hell, we're making a ton of money. Why are we pissing on it? And I don't understand one of two things. A, why people are not more angry about the moral compass within Games Workshop, and two, why Games Workshop don't seem to care that at some point it's going to get to the stage where even a normie is going to say, that's a bit Jesus, these people are fucking a bit ruthless. I'm not sure I want to be buying their shit.
Crispin makes a good point of where do you separate GWIP from the gaming? Unfortunately, for me, there is no real difference because the models themselves and the IP for those models are so intrinsically linked to their BS rules. And I've already dropped them over the BS rules and the changes and everything. Again, we've said this multiple times, right? The writing's already on the wall in October 2025 that next year is the year of 11th in the summer. And we know it's coming because we can set our fucking clock by GW release schedules. That's not a company that I want to be involved with.
Yeah.
But with this Gamac shit, I used to buy their paints, mainly the contrasts and the washes. With the Gamac thing now, they're dead to me. I'm going elsewhere. I want nothing to do with their business model and their business practices. No. Their moral compass, and this is just my opinion before GW lawyers come fucking with flak cannons for me with all of the influence we have over here on the channel.
We are big hitters. That'll be our 120 subscribers gone.
Exactly. You have every right to defend your IP and infringement. You have zero right to dictate to people in the community you can't use proxy models because of X, Y, and Z when they're playing it in their own time or at their own clubs or that kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll be brutally honest.
What I do with my hobby is my choice.
Yeah. I mean, the only way I can answer Crispin's question, how much of income comes from GWIP and how much comes from models and games, the only way we can even get close to answering that is from their own financial statement, Crispin. Core revenue for 24-25 was £565 million. Licensing revenue, which is literally just paying people or getting payments from people for them to make computer games,
put GW logos
apps,
on shit.
That was 52 million. So their core revenue is 11 times the size of their IP income currently. Now, I imagine that in 10 years, that will be pretty much 50-50 or maybe even skewed more heavily towards licensing. Because as you can see, the 52 million quid of licensing revenue generated 49 million profit. It is literally free money.
It's a license to print cash.
Yeah. And that is definitely where they're going.
Yeah. Shakos's point here about BMW filters. I don't guess anyone here is massively got their fingers on the pulse of the agricultural sector as I have. Mainly A, because of my job, and B, because I'm a sad act and live in a farming area.
Nothing sad about being a yellow belly, you cheeky cunt.
John Deere recently lost the right to repair, and it had implications onto iPhones and everything else. The reason I am mentioning
Sorry, mate, just explain what you mean by rights to repair, because I don't understand.
This is where I was just about to go with right to repair.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
John Deere were putting software on brand new combines and brand new tractors that would lock operators and farmers out of their system or out of the vehicle until it was towed, and this was particularly bad in the Midwest of the US, where you would have your local John Deere dealership would be 140 miles away, and you have to put your combine on the back of a lorry and transport it there to get them to look at it, put a new code in it, and it be fixed, then returned to you. They lost the right of repair case because of the implications it was having regarding the farmers being actually able to function and do the job that they were doing, and certain consumables and things that were required, such as changing an oil filter or an air filter or resetting a sensor that you've bought from John Deere directly because it's only manufactured by John Deere with that specific thread to fit. You needed a piece of software from John Deere to reset your tractor ECU and actually have it as a functioning machine again. It's bullshit. They lost the right to repair, and it then had implications onto iPhones are now manufactured in such a way that they've had to be modified to make it easier to repair because Apple were going down the send it into a service center route.
Yeah, which will charge you 80
There
quid
is
to
a
look at them.
pushback at the moment from the legal system against monopolies.
Is that
GW
does that
needs
ruling
to-
carry over to the EU and UK? Or
Yes,
is it
and the UK
okay?
as well.
Interesting. I'll tell you here's another example from the UK recently, which is sort of relevant. It's more similar to the OGL thing, but I can see there are parallels that make me question GW's common sense. So Jaguar Land Rover here recently were hacked, and they basically had ransomware basically disable their manufacturing facility until they could basically fix it or pay the ransom. And how long were they closed, mate? Do you remember from the news? Was it a month? Longer?
It was 6 weeks.
It was a
think it was
fucking
nearly 8. I think it was nearly 8 weeks because I think after about 3 weeks, they told everybody on the production line to apply for government support and benefits.
Well, the government did, to be fair. The management went in to the government to get some help to tide them over, and I think they ended up getting a UK government loan. But I mean, again, partly it was Jaguar Land Rover's fault, and now they're going to redesign their systems so that things like manufacturing robots aren't tied in with HR fucking computers where people are opening emails and doing fucking wage stuff, because it's like when everything's connected, not such a good idea. And there definitely are cyber security lessons they need to learn. But the interesting thing, and the point I wanted to make, was one of the things that came up in the news here in the UK was obviously Jaguar Land Rover were like, we've got a lot of money, we've got big pockets, don't worry, our business is not in jeopardy, we can sweat this out. But all the people who made tiny little moulded plastic vents that get inserted into the dashboards of Land Rovers, all the people who made the stitched covers, seat covers that go on the frames for Jaguar Land Rovers, were like, if we don't get an order from you in the next fortnight, we're bankrupt. So, and there was this whole ecosystem.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking of like
again,
the D&D and Paizo and all these people that feed off Jaguar Land Rover, their businesses were fucked once January.
Well,
but
again,
Jaguar Land Rover paid them. Do you know what I mean? They were like, don't worry, we will keep you open. Bear with us. And you just think,
with that, with what you're saying, and I know obviously it's happened and everything, but all of this cropped up fucking 4 years ago with the Great Plague, of everything being shut down and nobody being able to work for assembly and everything else, and the impacts it had on production chains and fucking ECUs taking fucking 18 months to be delivered when they should take 3 months to be delivered because of the backlog and everything else.
Yeah.
How the fuck in 4 years did you not think as a business, oh, we've already had this once, maybe we should diversify a little bit,
Yeah,
or
okay.
again,
Okay.
have
Yeah, that is
have
fair. Yeah.
some headroom. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
To
No,
not be
yeah.
affected by an 8-week shutdown at a
Yeah.
fucking JLR plant
Yeah.
because they've got some ransomware.
Yeah. I mean, again, to be fair, obviously the technical term for this is contingency planning. And obviously I work in healthcare, and we are now legally and ethically obliged to have a contingency operations plan for every community pharmacy just in case the building floods, catches fire, because just because my pharmacy is on fire, I still have several thousand people that might need life critical medication. And it's like, okay, so what's the plan? Because saying to them, you know, mate, I can't fucking do it, isn't really appropriate.
Just
So
sitting there
I,
and shrugging when somebody's dying.
it's
Nah,
like,
it's
so no,
fine.
you are right. There is a lot of this that people who run these companies, you need to be like, duh. But I do also think that in business, when you're the biggest shark in the pool, eating and killing everything else is certainly an option. Okay? But actually, is it really, A, is
Is
it
it the healthy?
necessary? And B,
Is
is
it
it
the
healthy
healthiest
for the
option?
ecosystem in the long run? I'm just gonna say, okay? Um
What we've
so,
just what basically tonight has been a rant about capitalism, and at heart we're all communists.
yeah, there's a fucking revelation. I think I need to go and have a lie down. Oh my god. um
Well, we've mentioned BMW, we've mentioned JLR, we've mentioned fucking what's it
Oh,
called? Games
Ewok.
Workshop.
Ewok, how dare you? Ewok, can I let you into a little secret? There are countries in the world that don't have state-funded healthcare, and people don't die.
Shakos coming in here with the suplex move.
Yeah, do you know what? I've worked in the NHS for 30 years, and I would never, ever defend it as an institution. If you, as the public, knew half of what goes on, I'm just going to say, I'm going to leave that there. Okay.
Yeah, Toros makes the point here. GW is technically its own hobby within a hobby. It's its own hobby
That's,
within a
yeah,
niche.
yeah. And I'll be honest, this was the conversation I had at Partisan.
Or
The
you
guy,
tried to have a
the
partisan
guy
before you
was
were shot
like,
down.
but is it, surely we want to bring game, because
Bollocks.
for those who don't know, and I'm not gonna piss on it, it was a beautiful thing. They had a massive demonstration or whatever game based on the old Orcs Drift thing, where you've got Imperial Guard dressed as
Where did
like
that
the
brain go?
British Boer Zulu the period Boer War soldiers with the pith helmets and the red jackets fighting a ton of orcs. So it was a play on the Rorke's Drift, but it's Orcs Drift. They called it something else, but and it was beautiful. And the guy, because I said to him, do you know what? It's
Hey,
surprising to
Jamie.
see you here at Partisan, because obviously it's particularly the October Partisan is very historically dominated. And we got into it, and he was like, oh yeah, I've been saying to the organisers, you can't have a show and not have Games Workshop there, blah blah. And I was like, well, why? They're hardly inclusive. It's like David said, it's a market within a market. It's like, what do you play? I'm in the Games Workshop market. It's like, okay, well, that's with the rest of it. Yeah, yeah. As I say, Toros, again, there are loads of other models for healthcare delivery that aren't as cutthroat as the US. that are much more flexible. I mean, there are tons of European countries that have got some very clever ways of delivering healthcare. Admittedly, a lot of them tend to be very low population density countries. So there is an issue here in the UK when you've got 60 to 70 million people crammed on this tiny island. Numbers start to become a problem. That's why healthcare delivery in Scotland is easier, because there's only 5 or 6 million of them, and they get relative to the UK system, they get a lot of money. But I don't want to turn this into a live stream about the NHS, because that's not why people come to this channel. Needless to say, just throwing shit at people who say, do you know what, we should try something different, because the post-war model that worked here when we had, like, I don't know, fucking 40 million or 30 million people and none of them survived past 58, that model was probably very affordable. The current one is not, unless you want to pay 60 or 70 pence income tax. But as I say, let's leave that one there. I think we've come to time, which is perfect, because I'm busting for a slash. We hope that wasn't too ranty and salty, and I know that's not what we would do as a typical topic here on Yellow Belly Tabletop. But I hope we brought something worthwhile to the argument. What I would say is there are 10,000 opinions on this out on YouTube at the moment, and some of them are really good. David, let me share this one. So David and I have both watched this video. Actually, sort of accidentally, we both clicked on it or got offered it up. This is a great video. This guy's Australian, is he, mate, or Kiwi?
Yeah, he's Australian. He also runs his own company that makes proxies for GW, and he's had a discussion with GW, and he's legal and all above board.
Fucking Taros. I love it, mate. Well done. You go and buy yourself some contrast paint. See if you can get it at less than £8 a pot. Still, if you buy enough of it, stick it under your bed, it might be worth money in a few years if it hasn't dried out. Sorry, carry on, mate. You were saying, yeah, this guy basically says he made your point, didn't he, about digital is the issue. If you're physical models and you just, because again, this guy says, don't take the piss. I mean, he says, we used to make a load of stuff that was a bit near the edge. I just took it down. Now I just make models that are not in the Games Workshop core line, or that they don't really support very well. And he, I'd say, good video. But there are loads like this. I don't watch a lot of it, but I think Mikey at Hellstorm Wargaming, he made some good points about this one and the one we mentioned earlier, the Siege Studios one. He's made some good videos on this. There's loads out there. Anyway, let's wrap this up before I sit here and wet myself, which I know is probably about right for somebody of my age, but it's a bit embarrassing to do it live on the internet. First of all, absolutely...
You just made that into a fucking meme for next week, mate. Just saying.
Absolutely huge thanks to everybody in the chat tonight. Do you know what? I say it every week, but I consider these people the co-stars of this show. And do you know what? I know here's one, right? I always put our chat on the screen. Maybe it's because our audience is small, but we don't get people fucking taking the piss. It never spoils it. We never have to ban anyone. It never gets out of hand. We've got such
Don't say shit like that. You're tempting fucking fate.
I don't think I am, because we've got such a good crowd watching this show. This is just a pleasure.
And you tell a lie, we have had to ban somebody. Do you not remember when they came in asking about hot busty women?
Oh yeah, but do you know what? We haven't had a bot in ages. And I think that's just because we're not popular enough. So whatever you do, don't tell anyone. Okay.
Tell only real people.
Yeah.
Don't tell the rest of the internet.
Yeah. So
You just seen
look
Ewok.
at, oh my god. No.
I fucking told you were tempting fate. You didn't listen.
Okay. If you're watching along later, feel free to comment down below. Get your opinion in. Every fucker's got one apparently. If you can only do one thing, please click the like button. It doesn't take more than but a second, and it really helps to push us. If you want to do the share with your friends, comment below, subscribe to the channel. There's a thought. Then do what suits you. If it's of value to you and it enhances your YouTube experience, do it, but I'm not going to bully you into it. And with that, David and I are done for the evening.
I've just got one thing to say. GW legal
I thought he was
team,
going to
if you
propose
stay-
to spam then.
No.
Go on.
GW legal team, if you stayed until the end and you're using any of our help and advice, our rates are very reasonable.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all next week, boys and girls.
Yeah. Were you shaking paint or were you making a wanker symbol at GW?
Well, I can do both if you want.
It's another Thursday night. I see Crispin's wearing tights. Spam is getting in the bath. Young David's full of wrath. Paul is tightening his straps. Where on his apron you saps. Technical difficulties. They're really such a crime. Technical difficulties. They happen all the time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop 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 time. Cheese meat is on day release. Dan still tries not to crease. Ewoks keeping nice and warm. In bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening up the can. Technical difficulties. They're really such a crime. Technical difficulties. They happen all the time. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop 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 time. Cheese Bee is on day release. Damn Chef tries not to crease. But Ewoks keeping nice and warm. In bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening another can. It's Yellow Belly Tabletop time. 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 Cheese Me is on day release. Damn the up tries not to crease. And Ewoks keeping nice and warm. In bed with Russian uniform. Meanwhile, the handyman is opening another can.